Hello everyone, welcome to the 2024 edition of the Dutch Model Railway Days in Rijswijk. This was the second year I attended this annual Model Railway show together with the LLMTC, and just like last year, we are looking back on a really fun weekend. Our layout this year was probably the biggest connected layout we've ever displayed, with the majority of the LLMTC present, including 2 new members. In total we had 9 modules from 6 different builders, and 3 extra builders joining us with just their trains. Starting off on the right, trains enter the scenic part of the layout through a wooded section, with modules built by Thomas and myself. Next up is Erwin's curved freight yard, connecting directly to Enrico's passenger station. The other end of the layout is marked with 2 farmhouses built by Martijn and Jelle, and finally Erwin's junction leading to a tunnel that I somehow managed to almost entirely miss with my camera. We had quite a few new models make their first appearance at the show, starting off with the Watloper diesel hydraulic train built by Sander, one of our new members. Thomas's yellow steam locomotive from the Dutch Central Railway was also new, making its first public test runs on the layout, along with his always reliable 3737. Jelle's Blokkendoos made its first appearance as a complete 3-car train set, and Erwin made good use of his new 6400 class diesel locomotive, pulling the long freight trains around the layout without issues. Of course, we didn't just run new models at the show. A lot of the models you've seen before also made quite a few loops around the track. As usual with an event like this, we try to have at least 2 trains running at any given time, one on the outer track and one on the inside track. But since our layout was so big this year, there were quite a few moments that 3 or 4 trains would be running simultaneously.
Wat was het? Was het te helft? Misschien was het wel. Ja, het was zeker naar de helft. Kleiner. Was het heel aanwezig was.
Noah, kan je die 23 er even aftrekken, want het schiet niet op.
Daarom niet. Eerst de monster in het huis. Hij zijn straks gaan en hij zit in het huis. Hij kan gewoon
This event was the first successful run of my Blauwe Brabander steam engine. Technically it made its first appearance at this show last year, but it never ran properly. I kept having issues with the driveline and the gearing of the locomotive. But now, after many different redesigns and tests, it's finally made its first successful run, managing to pull a prototypical-ish consist of passenger cars from Thomas and myself around the layout. Also new at this event were Enrico's Vectron in NS livery and Stein's colorful East German passenger cars.
Dit Eindhoven, goede trein langs de grond. Dit Eindhoven, goede trein langs de grond. Ja, een deel ook. Doe eens, juist de oude app.
Tijdens niet zo direct voor twee motoren. Ja, ja, daar eentje is dan aangegeven van wat jij exact doet. Ja. En
Die bloepers maken zich niet vanzelf.
Van de leen. Papa! Helemaal daar is die. Ik wil die witte.
Maar dat is goed dat we het maken.
Dit is wel een werkje, hè?
On Sunday we were joined by a special guest from Australia. Teunis Davy from the Victorian Railways L-Gauge Modelers was in Europe on holiday and joined us at the show for the day. He had brought his model of the Victorian Railways S-Class number 301 Sir Thomas Mitchell with him, which spent the day on static display in one of the sidings on the layout. And then the show was almost over. As the organizers are announcing the approaching closing time of the event over the PA, Erwin and Stijn are pulling onto the layout with a giant passenger consist sandwiched between two 1600 locomotives. Not satisfied with the length yet, the train is stopped in the station and 3 more passenger cars are retrieved and shunted onto the back of the train.
Groot geweldsbouwer.
Ultimately, the length was too much, and on the next loop, the pushing force on the couplings of one of the rear carriages caused the train to derail on one of the switches. While the rest of the show was relatively uneventful, at least by our standards, this definitely wasn't the only incident.
Dat ging te hard.
Ja, dat is nog wat erger.
Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more LEGO Train videos in the future.